we went to the Nepali coast, probably one of the most beautiful places in the world. And you have to see it from the ocean.
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach Podcast.
Minisode.
Well, if I had thought ahead, I would have worn my Hawaiian shirt and my lei. I guess I could get my little tiki out. I did get that from Hawaii, not this time, but another time that I went. I want to share with you what happened in January at our first ever VIP Mastermind in Paradise. First, I want to pause and remind you that we're sponsored today by Spark. Find out more going to spark4appraisers.com. That's FOR, not the number 4. So spark4appraisers.com. Well, folks, we did it about a year ago. A good friend of mine, member of the mastermind in LA, made a suggestion that we ought to do something cool as a mastermind group. We have groups all over the nation. Why not bring them all together and do what's called a VIP mastermind, where we have the brightest and best minds in the appraisal biz come together for the greatest appraisal conference, class, get together that you could ever imagine. And I thought it was an excellent idea. In fact, it was an idea that I had for a couple of years prior to COVID. I actually decided to do it in the summer of 2020. Let that sink in. And we were planning on doing something actually in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And then the pandemic happened. And of course that went bye-bye. And so I was grateful for this friend, this client, this colleague, bringing it up again and saying, hey, let's do something cool. And we were in the process of talking about where and what have you. And I've got a little place in Kapa'a, Hawaii. And I thought, why not? I'll take my family. We'll go stay at our condo there, and we'll do the coolest event you can ever imagine for appraisers. And we did. It was absolutely 100% everything I wanted it to be. It was so cool. Did a 3-day event, folks. We met on the east coast of Kauai. It's my favorite Hawaiian island. Now, there's been a couple of Hawaiian islands that I've not been to, but the major ones I've been to, the 4 major ones I've been to, and Kauai kills it. Absolutely love Kauai. For many, many reasons. It's kind of the old school back to, it's a slower pace of life than even in Maui, but definitely in Oahu. We met on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So Sunday night, many people had flown in over the weekend, and we met on Sunday night at a restaurant overlooking the ocean, and it was awesome to get together with everyone. I met spouses that I've never met before. So that was super fun. My spouse, my wife, was able to meet people that I talk about all the time. Oh, you're Rob. Oh, you're Chip. Oh, you're Tom. It was so cool to finally connect her with all of these wonderful people that have been a part of my mastermind and a part of my life for many, many years. She doesn't usually travel with me to go to the masterminds. And if she does travel with me, she certainly doesn't go to the boring masterminds, right? With a bunch of appraisers talking about weird stuff, right? So that was fun on Sunday night. And then Monday, Tuesday, and the first part of Wednesday, we all met in a conference room at the Sheraton Coconut there at the right there on the Kapa'a beach, and literally on the beach. And in fact, during the breaks, we could literally walk out onto the sand and get a little sun and come back in and be ready to go again. We did couch sessions. If you're familiar with the mastermind, you know what I'm talking about. We did couch sessions. We did some amazing experts were there talking about some really, really, really cool things. I'm not going to go into the details because this is a mini-sode, but folks, I will promise you talk to any of the 13 people that attended the mastermind, and I promise you that without a hesitation, they will tell you that the presentations that they saw, experienced in Kauai were worth the ticket and then some to get there. Okay, the value that they received in those presentations alone, not to mention the couch time that they had to share with the group whatever they were working on and get everyone's input on how to help them, was well worth the admission. It was super, super cool. I'll tell you one other quick thing, and then we'll go to a break, then I'll tell you about next year. So On Wednesday, we ended at about 10:30 in the morning. We started about 8, so we had about 2.5 hours of instruction. I went into some real detail on ChatGPT that morning, and not just about ChatGPT, but some of the really, really cool things that you can do with ChatGPT now for appraisals. By the way, we actually got into some CMAs and had it analyze some markets and different things. It was really cool. But we ended about 10:30 so that we could go to get lunch. And then we met back at the pier and did a sunset cruise on a catamaran. And we went to the Nepali coast, probably one of the most beautiful places in the world. And you have to see it from the ocean, right? It's sheer cliffs. It's one of the reasons, it's the reason you cannot go clear. Kauai is one of the few islands you can't go clear around. You can't drive clear around. Because the Nepali coast is there and there's just no way to drive around it. We saw whales. We had an amazing time. Quick shout out to Blue Dolphin Tours who took us on a boat and we just had a killer time. It was absolutely wonderful. I promise you folks, this was the best appraisal conference you can absolutely ever imagine. It was super cool. Want to pause here and remind you that we're sponsored by a great company called Spark. Spark for appraisers. What is it? Spark allows you to download the data that you choose into the report. It fills out the report for you. Basically, it has mapped your data to your report software so that you don't have to manually put that crap in there. It's so easy to use. It's so affordable, very much worth your money. If you're not using it, check them out. Go to their website, spark4appraisers.com, spark, F-O-R, appraisers.com. All right, folks, welcome back to the program. Dustin Harris hanging out with you, talking just briefly about the Mastermind in Paradise. I could not talk about the Mastermind in Paradise. It was absolutely wonderful. And that light is really driving me crazy. So we're going to do something here by moving this down. There we go. That's a little bit better. If you're on YouTube, you can check out the behind the scenes view of the Appraiser Coach podcast. Even on the mini-sodes, we do it on video and post it. So go to my YouTube channel, theappraisercoach.com. Okay. Before we left Hawaii, we did some really fun things. Again, I'm not going to go into all the details. You had to be there. Let's put it that way. You had to be there. But we started talking about next year. Do you want to do this again? And it was an overwhelming, not just yes, but hell yes. Everyone that was there wanted to come again. So we started talking about, well, do you want to do it here again? Or do you want to do it someplace else? We talked about Mexico. We talked about Puerto Rico. We talked about the Florida coast. We talked about a number of different Caribbean. And eventually, I think everybody kind of settled on, why don't we do a cruise? Why don't we do a 3 or 5 day cruise where we can enjoy the excursions and the boat and everything that it has to offer, but then, like half a day, every day, we can meet together and do some planning and do some business strategies and different things. So why not? I'm not making an announcement right now. I'm just telling you it is in the works, that's kind of the direction that we're going. And we'll see where it goes. But it would be super fun. And I'll tell you what was awesome about doing it in January. I'm not necessarily promising it's going to be in January again. Again, a lot of these things we're just planning out. We're just thinking about. But it was 35 degrees below zero in Idaho when I was 82 degrees on the beach in Hawaii. So there's that. There is a benefit to going in January if we go to a warm climate, which we probably will do. If you're interested. Folks, you got to be part of the team. You got to be part of the membership. So I encourage you to check out the new website, theappraisercoach.com. It's the same address, new website. Check out theappraisercoach.com and click on services or memberships, and you'll find out more about the All-Star team. Love to have you be a part of that, and then eventually be a part of a mastermind or the VIP Mastermind in Paradise, which I think we're going to do in 2025. We're holding out, haven't made an official announcement, but it was so cool. I can't not do it again. Thank you for joining me today, folks. Been a pleasure. Get out there and create some value.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit theappraisercoach.com and sign up for the All-Star team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.